but I do have Jana with me today. And I know you've seen her face around on other episodes, but today we wanted to talk about MacDill and where she is. Jana's a military spouse of 16 years. How many PCSs have you had now?
10.
I'm going to put you on the spot.
So,
Oh,
yeah,
10.
10. I knew that one.
10 and 16 years. Oh my gosh, this life is so wonderful. So Jana, tell us a little bit about MacDill just to start off.
So, MacDill is in Tampa, Florida, and it's been probably my favorite base. We haven't always lived on base everywhere that we've lived, but this one is beautiful. It's right by the water, it's on Tampa Bay, and it is an Air Force base. So, Army, but it's home to Central Command, which is a joint command. So, it's not technically like a joint base, but there is a joint command here. So me living on base, it's crazy because I have Air Force neighbors, I have Navy neighbors, everybody. It's a whole melting pot here. So coming from predominantly all Army bases or Army type installations, it's a new experience for sure.
It's always fun when you're joined with other services. You learn a whole lot. So, how far away? I'm assuming, I mean, obviously the beach is right there. I'm assuming you're pretty close to everything then, as far as fun, food, everything.
Yes, Tampa's awesome. Clearwater is probably an hour away to those beautiful beaches that are always on top 10 beaches in America. It's an hour away. So that's pretty awesome. But right on MacDill Air Force Base, there's an actual beach. So we'll just head over there and it's like 10 minutes from our house and we'll just go put our chairs in the sand and toes in the water and we're happy. And then Orlando is an hour and a half. So you have all Disney and all of that. And most people get the passes. They'll get the 6-day pass and spread it out over the year because you don't have to stay. You can come home. So that's a nice perk as well.
Tampa is a wonderful city. I know I got to visit years ago, and it is a wonderful and I can confirm she spends a lot of time at the beach. She called in for our production meeting on Friday, bragging about being at the beach while, here in Nashville, we were bracing for our, like, 3rd snowstorm in 3 months. So, yeah, the beach is wonderful. So, what are the little secrets for anybody that may be moving to McDeal? What's the secret places? What's your favorite places? All of that.
I really enjoyed getting to know some of the restaurants and things because where South Tampa is by MacDill, it doesn't have a whole lot of real estate. Like there's not a lot of space. So there's not all the big box stores and the chains. Those are a little further away. So lots of neat little restaurants and neat little shops, boutiques, and things of that nature. So those have been fun to find.
Nice. I always love the little places that you find that end up being your favorites because I know we're missing a few of our favorites now. So, what advice would you give to somebody that's moving to the McDill area? On post, off post, all that fun stuff.
When we moved here 2 years ago, it was in the middle of COVID restrictions and everything like that. So while it was a hard move because of all those restrictions, I think we were lucky because not a lot of people were moving. There was a lot of stop movement at that moment in time. So we were able to get on base. But now the housing market has skyrocketed here as it has a lot of places. So getting on base is a little bit harder. If you can, I would say yes, live on base because it's going to be the best bang for your buck, so to speak. As far as advice, it is a big area. There are a lot of places to live. You have a lot of choice, which is great. But I think sometimes that makes it really hard. They have school choice here, but it opens up a whole other can of choices because when we came, I knew I was going to have a high schooler, a middle schooler, and elementary, and I could have made choices to send them all to all these different places. I pushed the easy button and said they're going on base. They're going to the base school because that was just too many choices all at once for me. Just know that there are a lot of choices. If there's something you really need for your family, you can probably make that happen. But just know too that there's not just one place to live. There's not just one place to go to school. And a lot of people buy, a lot of people rent, and a lot of people live on base. So I know that doesn't make it easier, but that was totally my experience coming here too. It was just a lot of options that we had to wade through and ended up being really happy being on base.
Good. On base is fun, and I know you mentioned the different sections, of town. I know you said 3 at least, right, that you're probably gonna be looking at if you're looking at off post?
Yeah, there's kind of more towards Orlando, and a lot of people like it for that reason, but further away from the beaches. But there's a big military community up there, and a lot of the housing's a little cheaper. You can get a lot bigger houses up that way. So there are military that live, but the commute becomes 40 to 60 minutes to MacDill. And some people live closer to the beach, but then you're going to be looking at smaller houses, more expensive, closer to the beach, but and a longer commute. So there's a lot of different places to live around Tampa. They're all beautiful. They've all got great things going for them, but it's just like we've talked about before, setting your priorities. If commute is your number one priority, which it was for us, my spouse said, "Nope, I'm not commuting." And so that kind of just set everything else in motion for us.
And if there was anything you wish you had known before you got to there, what would it be?
Bring bug spray and just keep applying because the mosquitoes are killer year round. So that would be my number one. We found these things you use for camping. They're like thermocell, and we just put those on and keep them on all the time. So good bug
I
spray.
love it. I love it. It's kinda like in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, they mean that, and there's always bugs in Florida. Guaranteed, there's
Yeah.
always gonna be bugs in Florida. No matter what, you're
Yes.
not getting by with it. So,
Yeah.
thank you for giving us the look into McDeal. Let's hear from one of our small businesses.